Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. I just wanted to share a little bit of a different episode for you guys today. This is one of the strangest matches I've ever played in War Thunder, and so there's not going to be a whole lot of structure to this video. I'm mostly just going to be talking to you guys through the replay of what happened in this match, because I found it very strange. So I guess we'll get right into it. We've got the match starting out, and at this point everyone is loading in. So here we are on the airfield. I am in a BF-109 F1, and at this point we are taking off. And the grand majority of this match, not a whole lot is happening. I'm just kind of climbing up because I actually died almost instantly upon getting into combat. So let's speed up through this climb. At this point, I'm starting to see some other planes, like a B-34 and a TBF over there. We've got a team made up of other BF-109s and some Japanese planes. Okay, and this is the point where I start to notice a plane over here, the P-39Q in specific. I notice him stall climbing for the Focke-Wulf 200, and so I start heading over hoping I can help the bomber over here. I see him still going in for the FW200, and he hasn't noticed me. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a nice, easy kill, and I see him start to get hit by the FW200, which then goes down at this point. So I'm thinking this is going to be a really easy kill now, and I'll just come in and get the wounded plane. But then he starts going into a dive. He notices me, I take a few shots at him, and one of those does hit, but it doesn't do enough damage to bring him down. So we start going into a very steep dive, and then he starts turning, and it's at this point where I realize that I've made a grave mistake. I've been in a 90-degree dive for about 2,900 meters, and you can see over here that I am way over speed for this plane. And so I start to try to pull out of the dive. You can see the elevator is at maximum elevation trying to pull out of the dive, but then something disastrous happens. My wing breaks off. And I'm thinking at this point that I'm pretty much screwed, because once a wing breaks off, with the difference in lift, you just go into pretty much an uncontrollable roll if you try to do anything with elevators. And then about the luckiest thing that could happen happens to me after this. I'm trying to stabilize the plane out with that aileron over there, and I'm still over speed. And that is the point when my other wingtip breaks off. And so now I think I'm really going to have it, and I'm just going to go into the ground. But then something interesting happens. The plane stabilizes, and at this point I've zeroed out on throttle, and I'm back under controllable speed. And the plane is flying stably. And using the rudder, I'm actually able to roll the plane and use the elevators to steer the plane effectively, to the point where I actually take a couple more shots at the P-39, thinking that I might be able to get him like this. But then I see that he is just too fast from that dive, and I won't be able to follow with my wings like this. And so I start to turn around and head back towards the base after seeing that he is heading towards the airfield. And this is quite possibly one of the strangest things that has happened to me in War Thunder, because looking around at this plane right now, both of my wings are gone, and there are so many holes all over this plane. One of the landing gear is gone, and there are so many bullet holes throughout this plane that I don't know how it is still flying at this point. Spars and control surfaces for both of those wings are gone. There are so many holes in them, it's a wonder that they're generating lift, but I suppose that it is the big hole in this wing that is evening out the lift with this wing, which allows it to fly stably. And so at this point, I start heading back to base, and not a whole lot happens for the rest of the match, but the strangest thing is that I am able to fly completely stably all the way back to base. You can see I'm just flying along here in a nice steady flight, everyone's dogfighting around me, and I'm just kind of going about my business and coming into land. And you can see that the plane is wobbling just a little bit, but it is controllable, and now I'm starting to come in for a dive to land. And it was getting to about this point when I realized that one of my landing gear had blown off. and I was thinking that that might generate a bit of a problem. It turns out I was right, but I continued coming in for my normal landing approach and decided that since I only had one landing gear left, if I dropped this gear right here, then that would cause the plane to just land unevenly and possibly roll, which would then just break apart what was left of the plane. And so I decided to make kind of a belly landing and save a one last turn. I'm zeroed out on throttle at this point. I save one last turn for when I'm coming in to try to bleed off just a little bit more speed, and I'm losing speed very rapidly, and I come in for what I think is a nice soft belly landing. It all is going well. The prop is up clear of the ground, and I think it's gonna go well, but that happens. The prop breaks off, and there goes the tail. And I just kind of skid to a stop, and the pilot is fine. The tail and the wings are gone, so I was critically damaged. I could not repair, but the pilot survived, and so I got a crash landing award for it, which isn't all that abnormal. But throughout this whole match, I was very, very confused because the fact that both wings broke off and I was able to fly stably back to base, given enough speed that is theoretically possible. But with wings broken off like this and jagged edges and holes, aerodynamically, there is no way that that should have been possible to be able to hold the plane steady and make it back to the airfield at that point. While I do realize it is very difficult for Gaijin to make their air models that realistic and that specific, that's just a little bit strange. With some top tier jets, you will find stuff like that where if a wing gets blown off, you can stay in the air. That has to do a lot with the amount of speed that you have, generating a lot more lift than these lower tier prop planes. This right here, frankly, shouldn't, and I highly doubt ever did happen in any sort of situation, ever. So, yeah, that's just kind of my 2 bits on that. This was a pretty short video, and I don't have a whole lot to say on the matter other than the fact that this was very, very strange, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. Sorry about no video last week. I was very, very busy with school, but I will be continuing with my weekly uploads on Fridays at 3:15, and you will actually be able to look forward to next Friday's video being my first simulator battle ever. Yes, simulator battles, me. I'm not the greatest pilot, so it was rather interesting, but it's a project I've been working on for a while, so I really hope that you guys will enjoy this video, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and hopefully just kind of joining me in a little bit of my confusion about what is going on. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. If anything like this has happened to you guys, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your stories about it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Farewell.